morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today I'm here with some of the weirder news that I'm going to be showing you we've had in a while. And it's all to do with a new Chinese set. Now, China isn't getting a Pokemon Go set. There is no Pokemon Go set over in China. But the thing is, we still need to get those cards. Pokemon Go was a fun little celebration of the game, don't get me wrong. But it was also a set which was full of mechanically unique cards. And if China is going to be playing the Pokemon TCG, which we know they are, we're talking, of course, mainland China here, simplified Chinese, not Hong Kong and Taiwan traditional Chinese, we're going to need to have these cards, because there are a bunch of cards in Pokemon Go that are legitimately playable. Radiant Charizard is obviously huge. That's a gigantic one. Snorlax has been running around ruling the format for a little while now. And then, of course, you've got all the other cards, which may or may not be as good as them. But we can't just randomly not print cards going, oh, it's fine, they're probably not that good. Because we don't know, maybe they will be good one day. We have to have all these mechanically unique cards. We cannot have a format over in China where we've got everything but the Pokemon Go cards. That is not the legitimate format. So, with all that borne in mind, what's this Venusaur doing? So it seems like what happened was we had a pre-release of sorts for the new Chinese set. And it seems to be fairly exclusive, but there were some videos shared on Chinese social media sites, some equivalent of YouTube, and it involved this. Bilibili is the site. And this is not our Venusaur. This is a brand new Venusaur, same card, different artwork. Oh yes. This is very interesting indeed. What we've got here is a new, well, basically just the Pokemon Go cards, but with new artwork. Now, I've seen a lot of theories about this, but honestly, it's really simple. China, well, okay, it's half simple. The first half is very simple, and that is China's not doing the Pokemon Go cards. But they still have to do the cards. So what they're doing is basically new artwork without the Pokemon Go symbol. Now, you can't just do the old artwork without the symbol. I've not seen the contracts, I've not seen the agreement, but put very simply, there's some kind of ownership there with Niantic. It seems, I don't know, again, I've not seen the agreement, but it doesn't seem like you can just remove the Pokemon Go logo, and I've got some more evidence for that in a moment. So you have to have new artwork. The cards are all owned by Pokemon, but the artwork, there's an element of Pokemon Go to it, so there are licensing issues. Even though it's Pokemon making Pokemon cards, there are licensing issues here. The thing is, we've seen this before, like in Crown Zenith, where we had Radiant Charizard. Exactly the same card as the one in Pokemon Go, but different artwork, didn't have the logo on. And incidentally, this happened a bunch over in Crown Zenith, where they basically gave us a bunch of Pokemon Go reprints, but they just changed the artwork. We had Solrock and Lunatone, for instance, getting reprinted in Crown Zenith. Same cards as Pokemon Go, but now they've got different artwork and they don't have the logo on. And I told you all at the time that this was probably a licensing deal, so they wanted to reprint the cards. So you just do different artwork, take the logo off, jobs are good. That is what I'm assuming is happening over in China. That seems to be what they're doing here. They have to, as I've explained, they have to have the Pokemon Go cards. Their format doesn't make sense without the Pokemon Go cards. I mean, if nothing else, Charizard and Snorlax. Like, there are others, but if nothing else, you've got to have those two. Here's an interesting one, though, and I don't have an answer to this question right now. Pokestop. How do you do Pokestop? And to be fair, there are some others like Lure Module and Egg Incubator as well. I don't know what the licensing agreement is here, but the thing is, Egg Incubator's terrible, and Lure Module's terrible, no one plays those cards. But Pokestop is legit and sees a huge amount of play. Can we have a Pokestop card? Or will China instead, and there is a way around it, the easy way around it is you just print a stadium that lets you discard the top 3 cards of your deck and any item cards go back into your hand. And it's just not called Pokestop. It's called, I don't know, Pokemon Bus Stop, Pokemon Waiting Zone, Pokemon Chair, Stick. It doesn't matter what you call it whatever you want. Point is, that would have to go there, because if it is a Pokemon Go licensing thing, because again, even though it's Pokemon, there are still bits of the game I'm assuming that are owned by Niantic. I don't know. I've not seen the agreements, and I'm sure everyone that has is under NDA and isn't going to share it, but that seems to be what's going on here. And that means that we got stuff like this Venusaur, so that means we're going to get a whole bunch more. But we might not get a new Radiant Charizard. Because again, we got the Radiant Charizard in Crown Zenith, so China can just use that one. So yes, we've got a new Radiant Venusaur artwork, and it is exceedingly likely that we are going to get a new Radiant Blastoise artwork. Don't expect a new Radiant Charizard artwork. If we get one, fantastic bonus. Just don't expect one, and then you won't be disappointed. So what other cards have we seen? Well, we have actually already seen the Snorlax. Snorlax is coming, which is rather lovely. And I kind of love this. It's literally Snorlax blocking someone getting out of their house. And I don't read Chinese. Simplified Chinese. My simplified Chinese is terrible. You don't need to. You can see that it's a Snorlax with an ability, with a 4 energy attack that does 150 damage and has some other text, and it's got 150 HP and a retreat cost of 4 and a weakness to fighting. And I'm going to I've looked at this up, alright? There's no other Snorlax in the format at the moment that matches this. There just isn't. There's no other Snorlax with this combination of an ability and a 4 energy 150 plus some other stuff. It's just not there. It's just not there. In fact, I don't think we've ever had that. I'm looking through every Snorlax card ever on PKMNcards.com, and I ain't seeing one. So it's definitely that Snorlax. No, it's not a new one. China is doing new artwork and new products and stuff like that, but they're not doing new cards. That's not happening. At least not that we've seen. So that's kind of cool. I now want this Snorlax. Will we ever get these artworks? Probably not, honestly. And I want to say we will, and I want to get excited about the idea of getting them, but if you're asking me honestly, I don't think we're ever getting them. Doesn't really make much sense. Remember, one of the first things we saw was China getting full art Blastoise and Venusaur, the Vs, that we never got, and there were actually Rainbow Rare versions as well. We never got them. They came out in China a while back at this point. They came out in a set that was released on the 17th of November. Well, it's now June. And 7 months later, we've not heard a whisper. It doesn't make any sense. So, yes, expect these to be Chinese artworks that never come around. I've seen a lot of questions, and I think I have a lot of the answers here. The reason is because Niantic owns the copyright, or at least some rights in the artwork, so you have to change the artwork. And no, we're not going to be getting these in English, because we've got precedents for new Chinese artwork, and we never got it in English. So there's no reason to think we would get these either. There are a couple others we've seen. There is actually a new Charizard. Not Radiant Charizard, don't get too excited. It is the regular Charizard from Pokemon Go, which, to be fair, some people have tried making work. I've seen people playing around with this. Now, it's not been particularly good, but it doubles all your basic fire energy. That's not bad, ladies and gentlemen. That's kind of interesting. And then new Radiant Eevee. There is a new Radiant Eevee artwork in this set as well. Now, Radiant Eevee was a promo for us, but we still need it. At some point, we need to be getting this Radiant Eevee, so it's kind of awesome that we're getting it, honestly. I genuinely love this. I adore this. It's brilliant. And look, if we have a look at the whole Radiant Eevee picture, you're going to see a lot of cards there you recognize, including Full Art Irida, including Charizard V-Star, and they're just regular artwork. It's not like they're going through and redoing the art of the entire set. They're not. What they are very clearly doing is taking the Pokemon Go artworks and replacing them. We got a new Bibarel as well. And the Bibarel from Pokemon Go is actually a very cool card that I like very much indeed. It's the one that, while it's on your bench, cards in your deck basically can't be milled. And it's got the really cool artwork of Smeargle photobombing. It's an extremely cool card. Except in China, where it's just kind of, I mean, it's nice enough artwork, don't get me wrong, but it's not special like it was. I love this. I genuinely love this. And I understand it's going to be frustrating for a number of people for a number of reasons. The fact that we're just not getting this stuff over in the West, this artwork is going to be annoying. Some people in China are going to be annoyed by the fact that they're not getting the regular artworks. All of this is absolutely fair, and all I can tell you is it is a whole heck of an interesting story. But I think we've already got the answer as to why. And it looks to be, and again, this is all just my best guess based on my knowledge of the Pokemon TCG, which I think is pretty good at this stage, and based on everything else we can deduce, it really does seem like these are going to end up being these weird cards that exist with different artwork in China, and only in China, and that's kind of awesome. But given the amount of questions I've already had about this, seemed like the kind of thing I should be explaining. But now I have. So now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about this. Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing is always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.